47.7.
Way under, bro. Yeah, pound that fucking shit.
Let's go.
Okay.
It's Saturday, May 6th. I have to say that prepping for the meet, post-op, 4.5 months post-op, I can't complain about it. Everything's going well. As far as my strength, it's definitely coming back. I mean, I'm not 100% at my strength, but I do feel good. I feel really good. Now, I know I keep bringing it up, Nationals from 2 years ago, but it's affected me in such a negative way that this year I have so many positive experiences that I can actually compare it to and know the right way of training, know the right way of cutting, water loading, everything, and just being in a more positive environment and making myself be happy and not letting the pressure get to me. There are a lot of 48s this year that are amazing. I mean, they're totaling well over 150, and that honestly, I'm going into the total with a 149, but those girls that are, you know, 160, 170 kind of takes off a lot of pressure for me. I mean, anything can happen at Nationals, you know. The top 5 girls can like not show up or not make weight or, you know, bomb or something. Something can happen, and I am always a contender to podium. But going into Nationals, it's just me against me. Specifically 2017 Ricky against 2015 Ricky. As far as training goes, I feel fine. My diet, I can't do anything more than I have, and anything that I do change now, it's not gonna really make a difference. I am letting personal stuff get to me, and by that I mean family stuff. I do have a lot of family things going on. Yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of my grandmother's death. I was very emotional about it. I'm about to start my period in the next day or so, so I'm retaining water, and I haven't been able to poop regularly. By now, I should have gone to the bathroom. 2 days before, I didn't go for 3 whole days, and so my digestive system is so fucked up right now, and that's why I went to go get the colonic. I have another session tomorrow. There's just a lot of things that are starting to like come up, and it's not the right time. So yes, I am a little stressed out, and like and it's I'm just trying to keep it together. And please, I need to put a disclaimer. This is not me trying to get a pity party or, you know, set myself up so then that if I do fail, if I do bomb again, that this is why. No, it's not that at all. I'm just trying to keep it real with you guys. That I'm just trying to keep it real that we all have our shit. Boomer knows that I'm upset. They love you. But I'm just letting you guys know that, you know, we all stress, we all have to work under pressure. I know that a lot of people can relate, and that's why I have this kind of content out, because I want to keep it real with you guys and let you all know that you're not alone and this is how I deal. So with my, I love you, with my little stall in dropping weight, especially because I haven't started my period and I haven't had a regular bowel in a while, I'm gonna keep going with the plan. So yeah, I did go back up in weight. Honestly, I'm not stressing. I can't stress. I can't afford to stress, but I'm not stressing because with this water load, I should be absolutely fine. Alright, so I'm going to try to be as thorough as possible on how this water loading works. I do have to give credit to JB Kachi. About a couple of years ago, I want to say like 2015, he did come out with the video on how he water loaded, and I had been doing my own research on everything and like trying to figure out how to go about it for the next 5 to 6 days. And he basically did all the work that I was actually looking for, and so I just went with it. So thank you, JP, for your video. It was very helpful. So basically the first thing you want to do is gather information, gather data. I am not one of those people that obsess over the scale too much. I just, you know, try to monitor my weight because I'm a weightlifter and I compete in a weight class. So if you have the strong mentality to, you do have to gather information for at least a month, 4 weeks, and you want to weigh yourself in the morning at the same exact time, do everything the same, and then you want to weigh yourself at night before bed. Try to do it at the same time. So with all that information, I mean, I have like years of information on that. It's just what I do. I weigh myself and I write down how much water I took for that day. Maybe I had more salt. I went out for sushi or something. So I collect that kind of information. So morning weight, night weight, sodium intake, sleep, and water intake. And then I also mention like if I cheated that day, maybe I was under on carbs, and I explain why. And I also put down like what type of exercise I did. So I have all that information for maybe the last like year and a half. But for you guys, it'd be smart to at least get like the last 4 weeks. And the reason why we're doing this is because we want to figure out how much weight you lose overnight. So for me, I was probably losing about 1.5 to 2 pounds a night, depending on my sodium intake and my water intake. It's a very, very important step. You need to make sure that you do it because it's going to keep you in the right timeline as you're decreasing your weight leading up to weigh-ins. So on Friday, on meet day at 1 p.m., I have to weigh in at 48 kilos. So by 8 a.m. that morning, I want to jump on the scale when I wake up, and I want to make sure that I weigh no more than 49 kilos because I know between the hours of 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. I can drop a kilo. Whether it's sweating in the tub, sweating in the sauna, or just going pee for the entire morning. I will admit the first couple times of cutting, I was taught incorrectly. My first weightlifting coach had no idea what he was talking about, and the way he taught me and my old teammate Nicole Caperso was just absolutely wrong. And we were basically dehydrated days before we even weighed in, and it was very difficult cuts for us. Let's talk about water loading. Now, I am used to drinking a lot of water already. I give or take 1 gallon a day, so that means I need to increase my water intake even more. I have to double it just because I'm used to the 1 gallon. So now I'm going to be drinking 2 gallons starting 5 days out. 5 days out, 4 days out, 3 and 2. So from 5 to 2 days out, you will be drinking 2 gallons of water. Then come Thursday, you want to drink 1 gallon of water. You want to cut your intake in half the day before your weigh-in. You want to be done with that 1 gallon 15 hours before weigh-in. The reason why we water load and drink that much water is so that it can regulate the hormone renin, and this is what's essentially going to make us pee everything. the best way to think about it is if you think of your body like a sponge, and say you're not drinking enough water, but so let's say you like pour a tablespoon onto the sponge. What's gonna happen? The sponge just soaks it up. But if you turn on the faucet with the sponge underneath it, yeah, the sponge is gonna fill up with water, but then what else happens? It just starts leaking. So that's what we're gonna do. And we're just gonna load ourselves up with water. We continue peeing, we're completely hydrated and full of water, and then on the day before the meet, when we cut our water intake in half, you're still gonna be peeing. You actually want to do some sodium manipulation. So at 5 days out, 5 grams of salt is plenty, especially for someone like me. I mean, I don't add salt to anything. High blood pressure does run in my family, so I keep sodium to a minimum. But with only doing a sodium manipulation for like 2-3 days, you'll be fine. So, and especially with all the water you'll be drinking, totally fine. So days 5, 4, and 3, load up on sodium. 2 days out, stop all sodium. Try to keep it to a minimum. Distilled water, because there's no trace of minerals in there. I kept my calories the same the entire week. I just changed my macros slightly towards the end. I ate the same 5 days out and 4 days out. Didn't change anything. I was still eating all that extra sodium. But then at 3 days out, I did cut my carbs. And then the carbs that I didn't have, those calories are gonna now turn into fats and proteins and will be distributed through fats and proteins. So 3 days out and 2 days out, my carbs are cut to 50 grams. Now the reason why I cut my carbs 3 days out from the meet is because now I'm trying to cut the water, and for 1 gram of carbs that you eat, you're essentially retaining about 2.7 grams of water. So 1 day out, so the Thursday before weigh-ins, I am gonna try to eat no carbs at all. I mean, I know that's hard if you do plan on eating, you know, spinach or kale, but I am not trying to put any more carbs than I have to. And again, calories are the same, but they're coming from fats and protein. So I'm basically gonna be on a keto diet the 1 day out from weigh-in. Now here comes the not so fun part, but it's still manageable because it's high fat, high protein. But the day before weigh-in, you're gonna try to do more of a liquid diet, and your last meal is gonna be 20 hours before weigh-in. Since I'm only trying to do liquid and high fat, high protein, I'm gonna have a protein shake mixed with water, but I'm also gonna put heavy whipping cream in it because that's all fat. So I'll probably have like 30-35 grams of fat coming from the heavy whipping cream, and then about 50 grams of protein coming from the shake. Isopure, if you put 2 scoops, it is 50 grams of protein. So once you are done with your meal, 20 hours out, done with your water, 15 hours out, then you eat a whole lemon. And the reason why you eat the lemon is because it's a natural diuretic, and so that's just gonna push the pee out, and you are constantly gonna be urinating leading up to weigh-ins.